Hey, welcome, hi, thanks, and all the rest. My name's Ben. I'm building my first game in Unity, and this is my indie game devlog. And it's been a couple of weeks, but before I start, I'm having a shahi. Probably pronouncing that wrong. Let's see what that's like. I've got no nails. Can't even. Cheers. Nice. Okay, so it's been a good few weeks since I last did my devlog. The last time I recorded something, I had sort of told you guys that I've pretty much started again with my game, and that hasn't changed. Obviously, I am still continuing with my new build, and it's been an interesting learning curve. But before I show you my game, actually, one aspect I really wanted to do differently this time was get my source control sorted. Because I've had a few panic attacks with my last build where I thought I'd lost a load of work and wasn't quite sure my build backups had worked and whatnot. So I was really keen to do it properly this time, and I'm glad and happy to say that I've finally, after a hell of a lot of stress and struggles, got Gitea running on my Raspberry Pi Zero. Here she is. Oh, she's plugged in. I'll move the camera. It might be easier than moving the Pi actually, because it's all a little bit wired up. But there she is. First thing I had to do was get a nice big micro SD card, because my project, even in these early stages, is about 30 gigs. So there's 128 gigs on there. I paid £12 for the memory card. It was a bit of a gamble. Got it off Amazon, so I figured if it was crap I could send it back, but actually it's done the job and it's really effective. So that was the first thing, having enough storage to back up my game, because I tried the I forget what they call it, but the inbuilt Unity versions, plastic SCM. There you go. Yeah, I tried that, but that's only got a 5 gig limit before you need to start paying. You blitz that in a matter of my project had blitzed that before I'd even started. I couldn't upload anything for 5 gigs. GitLab, same story. Bitbucket, same story essentially. And also, it's kind of nice to have that independence, knowing that my project's backed up, on my own hardware. I like that feeling. There's no concerns there. So, getting set up was a bit of a hassle, as I say. For those that are interested, I used a project called Gogs, which is another GitHub type of clone. I followed this tutorial, got Gogs set up. Gogs I had a load of problems with, and it took me a while to work this out, but basically it got to the point where it looked like I could commit, but every time it tried to push, it would get to the point where it was pushing stuff to the Raspberry Pi and then have permission failures. And I sudoed and changed all kinds of folders, and I did recursive permission changes and all this, and nothing would happen. And I googled away to high heaven as you do, and I stumbled across this one little post somewhere on Stack Overflow. Some guy said he had the same issue and basically went to Gitea, and that's what I did. I wanted to use Gitea anyway. It's just I couldn't get it working properly on the Raspberry Pi Zero. Originally I set this up on my Raspberry Pi 3, but for whatever fucking reason with these Raspberry Pis, every now and then they just die, and that's what happened with my Raspberry Pi 3. So that's 30 quid down the drain. These things are supposed to be cheap. They're through the roof at the moment, like 30, 40 quid for a Raspberry Pi 3, and it just defeats the object. It's supposed to be cheap, fun hardware that you can hack and dick around with. So I went back to my Raspberry Pi Zero, figured out how to get Gitea running on it, and now it runs, and it's sweet. Let me show you. Not this. Oh, that's something else I was working on this morning. But here it is, Gitea running on my Raspberry Pi Zero. I've got a few other projects that I've backed up on here as well. Looks and behaves exactly like GitHub. Don't know what else to say really. I mean, it's bloody brilliant. This is free, all open source. You can do USH keys, which I haven't done yet. I'm not too worried about that at the moment. But yeah, you can set this up how you want. The one problem I've still got actually, and it's nothing to do with Gitea, it's just I think with Git in general, is the large file systems. And I have activated LFS. I've got a LFS partition on the Pi, but for whatever reason, whenever it gets like above 5 gigs, it just doesn't allow you to push content to that size. So originally I was trying to sort of push my whole initial project to this, but what I've started doing is just cherry picking the bits that I need, especially from the assets folder. The assets folder is the biggest part of my project, obviously because I'm downloading content from the asset store. Because it's a new project, I'm trying to keep on top of it. I'm only pushing the stuff that I'm actually using now, so that's kind of cool. Like, it's forced me to think a bit differently and keep things tidy, but just a little bit frustrating that I couldn't just go, bang, here's my project. I know it's on here on my Pi, and if anything goes wrong, I can start again. I did. So from that, actually, I created a little shell script, a couple of little shell scripts, and now I've got one click operation there where I can do a quick backup. So if I'm just playing around, I'm playing around with Unity, and I think, I'm going to make a cup of tea, I can hit that thing and it'll just automatically back up to my Pi. That's kind of cool. Now I've got to sort the second script out. My full backup is going to essentially copy the whole project onto my external hard drive. So now I'm in a position. I do need to finish this script up properly, and this was working actually. The one thing I wanted was it was copying the project onto my external drive, but I had no visibility of how far it was through the progress. So I started going down that rabbit hole, and there was a load of programs you can install if it was a true Linux machine, but I guess because this is not on Windows, it's emulate. I don't know how it's working actually, but I couldn't install the tools they were suggesting to get that progress bar, and basically I was like, I don't really care at the moment. So long as I've got my Git backups and I've got, I can quickly back up my full game, I'm kind of cool for now. So that's really, really, really reassuring. I'm really happy with that. The other thing that I did actually with my Pi, which took some time and distracted me from my game for a while, but it was good fun, was this guy. This guy's awesome. Let me just post over. Like he does these Arduino projects. It's not even Arduino a lot of times. Little 505 chips and whatever. But I got inspired by this guy, right? And thought, yeah, I've got this Raspberry Pi now with Git running on it, and look how neat and tidy this is. All this, it's so cool. Like, really, really cool. But what I've realised is you can't just quickly do this stuff, which is what I was trying to do. Quick win. It's that looks cool. Let me jump on the bandwagon and have a go. And I had a go. I built a satellite like this actually. It's crap in comparison to his, but it's the first attempt, and I learned a lot along the way. But basically, yeah, two solar panels, Arduino Nano in the middle there. With the this originally was copper. Turns out brass is a better option, but I didn't know that at the time. And the capacitor to store some energy, and the little light. So this thing basically, all it does is when the sun comes out, the little light at the back here flashes. It's really, I just got inspired by him. It's like creating these electronic sculptures, freestanding electronics, rather than like hide everything in the PCB or like with wires. Actually, make sculptures with brass and like all your components talk through the brass, which got me thinking about my Raspberry Pi, right? And I'm working on it. I fucked it up a little bit, but I'm going to build I have been building a physical Git tree that sits on top of my Raspberry Pi. And this is as far as I got. This I had to take off today because it was causing me issues with my Pi. Things were overheating. But essentially at the top here you've got a little OLED screen. And I've got 5 of these. I've got 4 because I lent my soldering iron on one of them and it melted the screen. So I've got 4 of these. The idea is I want 1, 2, 3, 4 plugged into my Raspberry Pi. Each one of these screens will display the last commit. So sort of like, the first commit, second commit, third commit, fourth commit, just to create a sort of sculpture of like my project, which I thought would be quite cool and interesting. I don't think anyone's done that before. Unfortunately, as you can see up here, brass doesn't play very well with fine electronics, and where I soldered these onto the screen, the stress has just pulled them away, ripped off all the solder joints. So that's another OLED screen down the drain, but I've had some thoughts on how I might improve that. But yeah, there you go. So I've had a few distractions over the weeks, but also it's been fun, and look at how cool this stuff is. The idea of these sculptures really is to sort of make some emotional connection. Like the devices are pretty impractical and useless. Like this one's probably just telling the temperature, I think. But you sort of associate it with a satellite. It looks like a satellite. It's some of them have characteristics of robots and whatnot. And basically, this guy's awesome. And that kept me entertained for a few weeks alongside my game. So let's get on to the game. That's half of what I've been doing, which I didn't want to sort of forget or lose. Where are we? So forgive me if I cover some old grounds, because I forget where I got to in my last video. As I say, it was a few weeks ago now. But I'm just going to launch this and show you what I've been doing. Maximise, yeah, brilliant. Right, so here we are back in the game. I have refactored my outline. Last time it was happening, it would outline but sort of trace over the main object as well at the same time, and you'd get this shimmering effect on top of the object, which I thought was kind of cool at the time, and it was, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. I just wanted more of a standard outline that was a bit more obvious that it was an outline, and that's what I've got here. I'm just going to reset the game for a second and show you this properly. Basically what I did was, I'll show you what I did because it's easier to show than it is to explain. But now you can see the object's been highlighted in a more traditional way, whereas they used to have that sort of orange shimmer across the whole thing. Boom, boom. And when we switch to nighttime, it's not quite right. That's because I've been playing around with filters. The post-processing filters, and sort of I need to tweak this a bit. But yeah, it's still there. You still know it's something you can pick up, which is the main thing. And you can pick it up. I'll show you the new inventory because I've broken the radio. So the inventory is something I was working on today. We can press that. Before, in my old game, I was the inventory was like a list of objects, like it is here, actually a grid of objects, but I was using as assets that I'd had to create outside, and I thought, well, it'd be good to use the real actual 3D objects and save some time that way. It's far from perfect. I need to get these centerized at the moment, and the torch is minimized for whatever reason, but they're actually like the whole GUI is actually a 3D interface in front of the camera now, which is why you get this nice sort of 3D effect. Kind of like it. The performance in the mouse is really bad. I don't know what that is. I need to figure that out. Like there's some serious lag there, but this is cool. You can click on the object now. It pops up over on the right hand side, spins around and gives you some instructions. Then you can click it and it goes back. I don't know if the torch is going to work because I've not put the same script on that one. But yeah, this is where I'm going with it. A little bit flaky there. Yeah, and I think this is cool. It's the best the menus, the inventory menus ever looked, to be honest. And it also is going to be a bit easier to put into VR. Because this is all 3D in front of the camera. When you're in VR, that's exactly what you're going to see as well, which will be kind of cool, because actually this camera, for example, on this tile in VR, you'll be able to move your head, like you know, that's going to stay still, but you'll be able to move your head and look around and see the camera in 3D. So that's cool. Kind of like that. Kind of like where that's going. But it needs a bit more tidying up. We've got a flare gun. I'll pick that up. We've got the radio, which you can't pick up at the moment for whatever reason. Let's just jump on, because the next part of the game is... Ta-da! There's no audio at the moment, and my camera is covering... Let's get out of the way. My camera's covering, but yeah, you can see we've got the story now being told in the more traditional game way. I don't know. Before, in my last build, I think this is where I was getting a little bit pretentious. As like, I didn't want these sort of standard GUIs. But actually, it was causing me more trouble. Like, it would be fine if I had, it would be easier, let's say, if I had a budget for voice artists and whatnot. But I don't. So I do need to tell the story still, which has changed, by the way, a lot. I've had a thought about that. There we go. There he is up there waving with his robotic arm, which is on a terrible loop. But you know, you get the idea. It's starting to set the story now. He's up there. You've got to find him. Oh, this is kind of cool. I know it's just a small thing, but I made it so that he follows you. So he's always looking at you at this stage. We'll get the camera out. Where's he gone? There he is. Oi, knobhead. Look at that. Look how he's hovering his foot. You. Right. So we can go over here. Have a little peek over here, and he should still be looking at us. There we go. I didn't realise I'd made his head bounce around like that. Anyway, minor details at this stage. And so we will move through the environment for a little bit. Particles like this I'm going to be doing more of. Try and get that hay fever feeling going on, so you get itchy eyes and whatnot. Some weird shit going on over there, but yes. The sort of first challenge of Hotter and Colder is the first game that you're going to be playing, the first puzzle that you're going to solve. There's more of these, you know, as you explore the island. Are you getting hot and colder to where he is? I mean, you kind of know where he is. There's a big fucking trail of smoke at the moment. That was intentional, but I might actually get rid of that. So yeah, that was another aspect that I've been working on. Is sort of introducing the story mechanic. What else? Oh yeah, we've got this mode, which isn't nighttime, and you can't hear it because I've muted the audio for good reason. It gets really annoying, but it sounds cool. Looks kind of cool. I haven't got the torch turned on at the moment, but this whole thing is going to be the dark side, or the inside as I'm calling it, which is going to be a different aspect of the game. Daylight, night time, got the stars. It's a bit calmer. You haven't got that crazy storm. It's very dark. Let's just quickly. Ooh, I haven't quite sorted this bit out. Where's it gone? Oh, it's in here. We'll turn the torch and flare gun on. I'll show you that. Karakachuchi. Go into night time. Shoot the flare. Woohoo! You only get one flare, and then you have to reload, so you can't sit there and pelt them. You've only got 5 flares to start with. The mechanic with the flare gun, I think, is at this stage is like you're going to need to stay in the light to stay safe. So you're going to want to shoot these and run into the safe zone, basically. Is the torch on? Yeah, the torch is on, but it's just not very bright. There we go. Oh, let's go into... Hang on. Oh no, I fucked it all up. Oh, I need to turn all that off when I go into night time. This is not what you want to see. Back off. Shh. Ow. Yeah, whatever. One other thing. We go back into the game. We're gonna enter this mode, which actually will be the stormy mode that we just saw. And when you enter the stormy mode, the environment's going to change as well. There'll be different things in the stormy mode, but it will keep your spirit. And I've changed this a bit. I don't ever like it. Looks a bit shit. It looks, actually, at night time it looks a lot better. It looks quite menacing. Yeah, that's all right. So I need to work on that. But these guys, basically, when you're in this mode, which is the same as that sort of purple mode, it's like you're dead, and what you're doing in this world sort of interacts with the other world. Don't worry, it'll become clearer closer to the time. I think that might be it in general for the last. I think it's been about 2 to 3 weeks since the last did my video. That probably is what I've been working on. I wonder if anyone else has this as well. I've noticed this. This happened on my last project. Like these objects just get created out of nowhere. Every now and then I notice them, like, where the fuck did they come from? And they're always disabled. I always delete them, and it causes no issues. But every now and then I'll launch the game, and 3 or 4 things will just suddenly appear in the project. I've no idea where they're coming from. That is me done for this devlog. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Let us know what you think, if you can be bothered, in the comment section. I will reply. Thank you for watching, and catch you later.